I believe that football is a sport in which fans and the media overreact the most from a game-to-game basis, okay? You got some teams who win a game or a couple games early in this season, and they swear they better go win a goddamn championship. You got some teams who may stumble out of the block. And the fan base and the media will say, sky's falling, they're trash. Okay. We saw that with Colorado last year. Well, they came out the blocks. Won a few games. Shit was looking promising. Hell, even I think even my brother, Tim G. Jacob, told y'all that they were going to get to 8 wins last year. After they, started hot. But then Travis got hurt and schedule got a little tougher and shit went left. I wonder, could this year be the opposite possibly for Colorado? I wonder if this could be the year where they don't start as high, but then maybe they get better as the year goes on. The one thing that gives me pause, I should say. I'll say gives me pause about thinking about it like that, thinking that maybe they'll get better, is that the same shit that plagued them last year seems to be plaguing them this year. What you talking about, first? Goddamn well what I'm talking about. The O-line, and hell, for that matter, the D-line. The fuck is going on? And why can't Prime fix it? Let's talk about this shit briefly. But before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I am your homeboy first, and this is the realest, most entertaining show in the game. Put it on something again. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button, put all your people on it. Follow me across all social media platforms. Feel free to hit that Cashapp, PayPal, however you choose to contribute, whatever you choose to contribute. It'd be greatly appreciated. Also, fuck with our sponsor, the King McNeil Collection. That's the King McNeil Collection for all of your fraternity or sorority gear needs. They are the best in all of the business, okay? You can go to kingmcneil.com or you can download the app, okay? Peruse that thing. You're going to see something you like, okay? That is the King McNeil Collection. Tell them first sent you. But yes, by now, y'all already know, okay? Colorado lost to Nebraska by a score of 28-10. The score really was not that close. Okay. It really was not that close. In this game, Shedeur was held to 23 of 38 for 244 yards. Trav still put up numbers. He caught 10 passes for a $110, but it, just didn't feel impactful. Shiloh got hurt in this game, I think, with a forearm injury or something like that. Couldn't run the ball at all. At all. Okay. They had 22 attempts for 16 yards. That's 0.7 yards per rush. In contrast, Nebraska had 35 attempts for $149. I know that we are in the era of spread and passing and woo. At the end of the goddamn day, this is football, man, and this is violence, and this shit is physical. It's physical. Therefore, at the end of the day, you got to have what commentators in the past used to call the big uglies. Them big ham hawk eating motherfuckers up front. You got to have them. You got to have them. Them Buffalo Wild Wing boys. Them Wingstop boys. Them boys. That's what you got to have. Got to have them on both sides of the ball. Deion Sanders knows this. He knows this, okay? When he was at Jackson State University, he would say the difference between FCS schools and FBS schools or the Power 5 schools, the motherfuckers in the trenches. Their speed at the FCS level, their speed, okay? You got guys who can run out there at the wide out position, who can run at defensive back. You know what I'm talking about? You got some guys who can do some things. But them big boys, them big massive motherfuckers who really be moving shit at that line of scrimmage. Them motherfuckers who are putting their brains on the line every single fucking play because they doing this shit. That's where that bitch is different. And within the FBS, you can see it's different from conference to conference and from team to team. And Prime can't seem to fix that shit. He can't quite seem to fix it. Now, some may argue, well, hey, it's just year 2. And when I was coming up, when you got a new coach in, usually they would say, okay, this is a 3-year process. Seemed like it was 3 years. The 3rd year where they were going to really start evaluating your motherfucking ass. Maybe 4, if you're lucky 4. But now in this era of NIL, where these folks, the boosters and that fan base, it's breaking off money. And not just under the table money no more. Okay? It ain't just the under the table money. It ain't just the handshakes. It ain't just the little duffel bag of money that they dropping off. It ain't just buying dad a truck and you know what I'm talking about, paying mama bills for it and all that kind of shit. It just ain't that no more. You know, buying them boys a Charger, Challenger, it just ain't that no more. Okay? These boys getting money. These boys getting money now. And these boys also can transfer now. So between the money and the transfer portal, motherfuckers really be wanting instantaneous shit. They want it right now. They on that fuck this 3-year, 4-year plan shit. What have you done for me lately? What's happening? And this game ain't gonna help Deion Sanders in this case. Because Matt Rule is in year 2, Prime is in year 2. Prime whooped his ass last year now. Okay, Colorado whooped Nebraska's ass last year. But Nebraska handled them this year. In a way that if Prime was successful in what he set out to do this summer, or this offseason, I should say, which was fix the lines, fix the offensive, defensive line so they can protect Shedeur and get some pressure on the opposing team's quarterback and stop the damn run of the opposing team. Still ain't happened. So the question is, why can't Prime fix the line? What the fuck is it? Of course you got Shedeur. That motherfucker came out his loins. Hell, that's his child. Travis Hunter idolized him. That's how he got him. He's been able to attract, skilled guys, shit like that. And he did attract the number 1 tackle out of high school, the Seton boy. That line of unit, Jack. It's the reason why they always be talking about that line as a unit. Okay? That line is not individualistic. Okay? Even though we know standout linemen throughout football history, especially when they get on to that league, and Trent Williams comes to mind today. The Kelsey brother that just retired comes to mind, and Jackie Slater of Jackson State University comes to mind. You know, these are Hall of Fame motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm talking about? But still, you need that unit on that line. If you just got one somebody on that motherfucking line that about something, you ain't got no line. You ain't got no line because a smart defense, you're gonna goddamn attack somewhere else on that line and come get your ass. And then if you try to just, even if you're trying to run the ball, you say, okay, I'm just gonna run behind this stud we got over here. Well, that's predictable. They finna goddamn figure that shit out and come get your ass. Okay. And with the young man being a freshman, I know he, was highly touted coming out of high school. This shit talking about this Seton kid. I know he was highly touted coming out of high school. Still a freshman. You going against seasoned motherfuckers. Hell, we had one boy in one game. They say his ass been playing 9 years. Something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I know them folks told me it was a boy that played this weekend, scored a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken, who been playing since the goddamn Obama administration. It might have been the previous week. One of these past weeks in college football, you had a boy that's been playing forever. So this shit different, man. It's when you're using transfer portal, and there's one stud freshman, and they're supposed to fix the line. What the fuck is the deal? Now, you got some folk online with they jokes and shit. The motherfucker saying, I've seen somebody say that Prime got too many boys who like to listen to Boss Man D-Lo. He need to get him some boys that listen to AC/DC up in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Saw somebody else that say, shit, you got to have some MAGA on that offensive line. You know what I'm saying? You know, folks play these stereotypes. The assumption is you got to have some white boys on that offensive line, some white boys from middle America on that line. That's how you get the offensive line right. And you need some black guys that wide out and running back, and the stereotypes and shit. Just like the stereotype of the once upon a time was that the black quarterback couldn't do A, B, C, and D. There is a stereotype about the black lineman too. Even though we've seen some of the greatest linemen ever be black men, that stereotype still persists. Okay, so I don't believe that. I do believe that you got some stud black guys out there who really handle business at the offensive line, along your offensive line. Okay, but with that being said, do you think Prime can't recruit white linemen? Do you think them or the parents aren't impressed or intrigued by Deion Sanders and his style and who he is and how he is? You know, if that is the case, that's of course unfortunate for Prime, and unfortunate overall too, probably. And unfortunate overall because you got motherfuckers that come from our hoods all the time that go play for coaches who culturally aren't like them. Okay, like I just saw a picture of Julio Jones and Nick Saban fans. I bet Julio Jones and Nick Saban culturally are very different. I bet they listen to different music. I bet their upbringing was probably different and all that kind of shit. Being a black man and a white man in this country has a lot of differences, okay? We have a lot of things in common. I think those things need to be highlighted more, okay? But because of centuries of racial discrimination, segregation, our experiences have been vastly different, okay? So when you got a guy like Julio Jones, Derrick Henry, they go play for Nick Saban, who culturally they probably got nothing in common with this motherfucker, okay? But they go play for Alabama. They wouldn't play for Nick Saban. Do you think some of these big white boys are unwilling to give Deion Sanders that same same kind of love. I don't know. I would think he going after whoever the fuck is good on the offensive line, whether they black or white, goddammit. He just wants somebody to keep his son upright. Shit. But then when you look at the defensive line, yeah, you got TJ Watt and you had his brother JJ Watt. Okay. Got the Hutchinson boy right now. But routinely now, the guys that be going on that defensive line been black guys as well. Okay, the Reggie Whites, the Bruce Smiths, Javon Curses, which I know about Javon Curse. Some of y'all were not there. You know, Aaron Donald. Like some of these folks are putting these tweets out here like Prime can't get the white boy. Okay, but what about the black defensive end? What about the black defensive tackle? He got Warren Sapp on his damn coaching staff. He can't go find the next Warren Sapp to get some pressure up the middle. What the fuck is going on? Why can't this shit get fixed in the transfer portal era, in the era of paying these boys? Are the Colorado boosters not dropping the bags? I said before, I said when he went there, and a lot of people are starting to say this shit. Okay? A lot of people are starting to remind folks, hey, the man is at Colorado. If he wasn't there, nobody would give a fuck about Colorado. That is not me talking. That's just the facts. That's what people are saying. That has been the history. Again, when I was growing up, folks gave a fuck about Colorado. I remember when Colorado was cold. I remember Colorado, Nebraska being one of the biggest games on a Saturday schedule. That was a long time ago. I'm going to be 40 years old. That was a long time ago when that shit was going on. In the early 90s. So at this time, before this man came there, wasn't nobody check for that program like that. Weren't check for that program like that. Whereas Alabama is a brand, even without Nick Saban, Alabama is a fucking brand. It is. No matter who the coach is at Alabama, they are a brand. Now, will they win? Will they always be in contention for a national championship like they seemingly were under Nick Saban? No. But they were a brand. You knew it. You knew it. Okay? Notre Dame is a brand. They just got fucking upset by Northern Illinois, but they still a fucking brand. They ain't won a damn national championship shit since I was a little boy. They're a brand. You know the brand. USC is a brand. These are brands. These are gigantic brands in the world of college football. Just like I said, Jackson State University is an iconic brand in HBCU football. So you added a big brand that was something that was already a big brand in the HBCU world to Prime's big brand, and you got what you got. And we still didn't win a Celebration Bowl with that. Won a SWAC twice. We still didn't get a national championship, even with that. Which brings me to this. The actual coaching of the game. The actual coaching. Okay? I think this article speaks to some of it. And this should not be the case. This should not be the case. Okay? This is from ESPN. And this was their takeaway from the game. It says the Buffs continue to have problems with offensive line play and discipline. And we've discussed the offensive line play already. Okay? But we ain't getting to the discipline. All right. It says Shedeur Sanders was sacked 5 times and hurried 9, and the run game was virtually non-existent. Here we go. Linebacker Trevor Woods was ejected for targeting. There was a personal foul, roughing the passer, and 2 pass interference flags. Now, whenever that shit happens, Prime get in the press conference and say, no, that's not who we are. That's not who we are. But the shit keeps happening. And if all of this shit keeps happening, if you cannot protect your quarterback, if you cannot run the ball, and you keep getting penalties for a year worth of games, and now these 2 games, that might be who the fuck you are. That might just be who you are. But we shall see. We shall see. I said again, folks be overreacting from game to game in college football, NFL football, hell, high school football. But when it's the same shit happening that also happened last year, that's a little troubling. That's a little troubling. Especially when you got your stud quarterback in the post-game presser saying shit like this.
I mean, how many times did Rowley get touched?
You said what?
How many times did Rowley get touched? There was able, like, of course, whenever you're able to run the ball consistently, and whenever you're able to, then that opens up the pass, you know. But it's just like you got to understand like what your team good at. So it's like, why would we keep running the ball if we out there and we get in a situation where it's a must get and we don't get it?
Right. Are those like kind of like 4th and 1 conversions that haven't gone your guys' way in the last couple? Is that kind of play into everybody's mind? Is that kind of something on your mind? Thinking about, advancing the ball and whatnot?
Nah, I'd rather, if we're going to go down, I'd rather go down swinging, honestly, because I know I could throw the best punch.
Now, the second part of that answer, got no quarrel with whatsoever. Okay? Okay, ain't got a point. We can't fucking run the ball. We might well stick with what we're good at, which is throwing the ball. And if it's basically, if we gotta get a yard, we're in a must-get situation, and we suck at running the ball. Goddamn it, I'd rather have the shit in my hands. I'd rather have it on my shoulders. Cool. That's leadership. That first part wasn't leadership. Okay. That first part was the truth. The first part was the truth. But I don't know if that's the way to handle it as the quarterback. I don't know. Some of y'all real ones out there, maybe y'all played on the offensive line, okay? Let us know, okay, how you would feel about your quarterback saying that in the presser. Now, on the flip side, you might say, if you don't want your quarterback saying that shit, goddamn it, block. If you don't want your quarterback and your ass out in the media, block. And some may say touche. I don't know. All I know is the team is a team now. The team is a team right now. All right, this ain't like no goddamn no, I in the NBA LeBron-led team might start off and they say, oh, this team gonna win the championship. Then by All-Star break, they say the goddamn team sucking, and LeBron get your ass up out of there. Mid-season trade. Ain't no mid-season trade. Ain't nobody coming to rescue this shit. Them boys gonna have to be coached up by Prime and his staff, and they gonna have to do their damn job. Either that or Shedeur gonna have to learn to be faster than a motherfucker with his reads and get that ball the fuck up out of his hand. And them receivers got to be quick as fuck to get open and come up out them breaks and catch the ball. Because ain't no mid-season trade, ain't no mid-season pickups through the transfer portal that's going to fix this shit. Them boys got to get coached up and they got to get led by the quarterback. So that's why those comments may be a little concerning. But who knows? Maybe they'll light a fire up on them boys. We shall see. It's a long season to come, y'all. It's a long season to come. Again, last year, these boys came out the blocks rolling and folks crowned their ass. Okay? This year, they barely won against FCS powerhouse, North Dakota State, and they got their ass blasted by Nebraska. During the rest of the season, hell, they might reel off some shit. Who knows? But we shall see. All right. But now, the overarching question is, why can't Prime fix the line? Do you think he will during this season? Through coaching now. Can't just go grab no motherfucking body. You think he will coach him up and fix that shit during this season? Put it on something.
Please subscribe to my daddy's YouTube channel, because the more subscribers he gets, the more attractive he looks to sponsors. The more attractive he looks to sponsors, the more money he can make. And the more money he can make, the more money he can spend on me.